allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Silent prayer, please. Amen.
Trustee Paul Hovis. Trustee Greg Clark.
Here.
Trustee Ted Webb.
Here. Okay. This meeting will be recorded for informational purposes only. All comments will be taken at the end of the meeting and limited to 2 minutes. If any resident has a question or comment, raise your hand. You'll be recognized by the chair. Come to the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record. Multiple speakers at the same time will not be allowed.
Before we start the meeting, Trustee Paul Hovis is in Florida. His father passed away, and that's the reason for his absence. Okay. 175-19 to accept the meeting minutes from the August 13th, 2019 regular meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
176-19 to accept the meeting minutes from August 13th, 2019 public hearing.
The motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
177-19 to accept the meeting minutes from the August 31st, 2019 special meeting.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
178-19 to authorize the fiscal officer to pay all outstanding invoices and approve all warrants issued occurred from September 10th, 2019 through October 7th, 2019.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
179-19 to authorize the removal of Jeffrey A. Bates, William O. Glancy, Michael G. Powers, and Martha J. Urchek from CD number 1002939 and CD number 821-09471, which are both held at the Cortland Savings and Banking Company.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
180-19 to authorize Gene Eddy, Paul Hovis, Frank Hart, Ted Webb to be listed as agents on CD number 1002939 and CD number 821-09471, which are both held at the Cortland Savings and Banking Company.
Make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
181-19 to accept the amount and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor for tax year 2020.
Make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
182-19 to accept the contractor bid packet from Gorilla Construction pending approval from Trumbull County engineers and financing to proceed with the Township Highway, Wilshire Drive drainage and resurfacing project to be funded by the general fund. Need a motion? I need a motion. No motion, it dies. 183-19 to authorize the process of bid for a Hillside Cemetery project. See attached resolution. Need a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Webb.
Yes.
Okay, fire department. 184-19 to accept the Department of Homeland Security.
one more.
Oh, administration? Okay. Trumbull County Board of Elections notice of polling location change, see attached.
But,
I didn't see it.
I have a letter that they sent, and this administration building will no longer be a polling place. And everybody that is registered to vote here, the Board of Elections will send you a letter ahead of time telling you where you will now start to go to vote.
There's only what? There's only two places. Optimus and the church, right?
Yeah, I don't know which other ones. They just said due to, the reduction of polling locations in Trumbull County. They eliminated this location.
They will send a
They
letter.
will, to anybody that was supposed to be at this building for voting, they will send you as voters, registered voters.
CN? No. Well, it don't matter. They're gonna send us a letter and we'll go from there, so. Okay, trick or treat will be Thursday, October 31st, 2019, from 6 to 8 p.m. Just off. Fire department.
I'd like to report, Chief is not with us tonight, but he has given me some information. We were awarded a $63,000 grant that will purchase a new lift assist cot and a load system and also a mechanical CPR device. Our local match is $3,000, so we're getting $63,000 for $3,000. Another important piece of information is we were upgraded on our ISO rate. We are now moved up to a Class 3 fire station. There's only two others in the Trumbull County that have that rating. That's Warren and Howland. And now that puts us in the top 14% nationwide of all fire stations. They're all fire departments. It's a very difficult task. It was a joint effort by all firemen that were at the station, and we have to commend them on a great job. What this rating does is it really helps businesses. It will also help homeowners, but we could get a better insurance rate because we are now in a Class 3. We moved from Class 4 to a Class 3. So you may want to contact your insurance carrier, see if that will improve your rates. If it does, the chief can provide you with the documentation to provide to that insurance carrier to help you reduce your fire rates. And it's certainly going to help us with the businesses. This move is a big move for the business community. They're going to get a substantial amount of savings. So I'm sure Bazetta Township is going to be looked at for extended growth in our community through the business community. So,
And we're only 3 in Trumbull County that have number 3. So, it's kind of a good thing. Okay. You want me to read the whole thing here? 184-19 to accept the Department of Homeland Security FY 2018 Assistant to Firefighter Grant ID EMW 2018 FO 01638 in the amount of $60,000. As condition of this award, we are required to contribute a cost match of $3,000, which is 5% of the non-federal funds for a total expenditure of $63,000.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Wood?
Yes.
185-19 to accept Sam's Club Community Grant for $500 to be used to purchase lock boxes for Senior Watch Program.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Wood?
Yes.
Non-agenda items, Fire Department July 2019 and August 2019 monthly reports, Property Protection protection classification notification is what we just was talking about. Police Department. Non-agenda items, you got your monthly report. Do you want to, anything from you, Chief? No? Okay. Road Department?
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Planning Director, Zoning Inspector, and Code Enforcement Officer?
Mr. Chairman, you have the list of permits issued. There were 10 permits issued in the month of August. Total fees collected were $6,865. Those were turned over to the fiscal officer. Also on August 27th, there was a public hearing for a zoning appeal by the Zoning Appeals Board for a variance for the number of parking spots required for the potential building of Dollar General at Bazetta 305. The appeal was granted, so they'll be moving forward with their permits with the county as far as building permits goes and EPA for septic. October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I'll be attending a Ohio Planners and Zoning Commission Officers Association State Conference in Cleveland. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Zoning Commissioner and Zoning Board of Appeals?
I just went over the Board of Appeals thing, so
Yeah,
that
that
was
takes
the
care of
27th.
that. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, do you have anything to report for the zoning board of appeals?
Nothing other than we did have an appeals meeting. The date is scheduled right at the moment, but we did have a hearing and granted a variance for the Dollar General Corporation to the building division.
Thank you.
If I may add, just with on that, there were several neighbors that were in attendance, and some left not happy, but I believe that what they felt that hearing was about whether that could be built or not. That's not what the hearing was for. The zoning designation already permitted for that to be built. The only thing that was really was at hand for the board to even consider was, can we reduce the number of parking spots? And we felt, my recommendation to the board was that it be approved because it actually reduces the amount of asphalt surface, which is what creates runoff.
Right.
So the more hard surface, the more it affects the neighbors around as far as runoff is concerned. And Dollar General has done their diligence as far as they know what they require as far as by their number of shoppers and from the 500 stores that they already have. So I believe that Paul did a great job running the meeting, and I believe that the right decision was made.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, Parks and Recreation Board.
We'll meet next Tuesday, September 17th. And also the bill on here, that the invoice on here will be corrected. They did not spend the night, so we'll remove $125 off of that. They'll send you a new invoice. And also, I guess our secretary has contacted the trustees a couple of times, she tells me, and she wants to know if are the trustees going to do any repairs that came through on the Imagination Station. I explained to her, Paul did contact her back, I will tell you, and he said he was in Florida and his father was very ill. So I know that we don't meet until next Tuesday. So, and I know Chris has been on vacation, so it's been very hard for the trustees to answer her questions. So we need maybe you guys to get together when Chris gets back, and are you guys going to do anything? And then that'll tell us.
We have the list.
Yeah, you have the list from both the insurance company and Play by Design. We need to know what we're doing, where we're at.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll try and speed that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And thank you for finding the $125.
Yeah, well,
Appreciate that. Okay, as to be placed on the agenda was no one. Public comment? Take your name, come on up.
Matt Malula, 2325 Wilshire Drive. So it sounds like we're not moving forward with the project. So you guys kind of killed that. So what's the plan?
Well, right now, it did die for a lack of a second, but we have to figure out where our funds are. The bids come in, what was it, about 13, 14% higher?
10% up to 20%.
Yeah, so right now, we don't have the money as far as, she can't certify the money to do the project. And when you can't certify, you can't do the project, so.
Okay.
But we have all the engineering, and I think at a later date, we'll put it right back on and see where we're at.
So like a later date this year or like
It all
2020?
depends on what we have to do for the cemetery.
Okay.
Am I right? So,
So at that special meeting, there was over $300,000 available. And this was only 137. So I guess my confusion is you have the money, but you're saying you don't have the money.
well, we can't run the budget all the way down to zero.
You wouldn't. There's only $150,000 left over.
It's all up to the fiscal officer. She has to go through and tell us where we're at as far as money. We gotta know on this cemetery deal because we just had another claim on it, so.
Okay.
Maybe by next meeting, what do you think? I mean, maybe we could, at least we'll know where we're at as far as cemetery.
The bids won't even be back yet.
Yeah, that's true too.
They won't be back.
Yeah, that's right.
So if the bids come back for the cemetery, okay, and you have money left over to do Wilshire, is this gonna be put back on the agenda?
I would think so.
But what you don't understand is, we collect roughly $390,000 a year to support the administration. And we're spending $504,000. We're pecking away at that $300,000. By the end of this year, we're gonna be lucky, without doing Wilshire, to have $200,000 or less. And by law or by resolution, we have to carry over in the next year at least 25% of our budget. So we have to have at least $125,000 carryover, so that the people who work for the township get their paychecks. We don't get a paycheck from the county until late March, early April. So yeah, on paper, it looks like we have all this money, but it's disappeared quickly.
Right, yeah, because it's the end of the year. I mean, for peace of mind, it's been 27 years since that street's been done. You guys have to come up with action plans to get it done, because it needs to get done. I mean, we just can't keep another 27 years from now, the road will be dirt. I mean, I've seen better dirt roads in Michigan where I used to live, and that road is in current shape, like asphalt. So obviously, you need to keep coming up with action plans to get this project, keep moving forward. You can't just kill the agendas every time you have to spend money. Obviously, things take money to get done. I understand, but we just gotta keep moving forward.
Well, one of the issues that we're kind of waiting on is, the state of Ohio has added 10.5 cents road tax on the gasoline. Some of that's gonna trickle our way. We don't know, I don't, Kristen? We have no idea what the gas tax is gonna raise for us.
It's gonna raise us about 50,000, which is pretty considerable. We can use that for grant monies and stuff. Another snafu that we had too was I already submitted my project for next year for grant monies. And it was not Wilshire Drive because I expected that we were gonna have general fund monies to pay for that. So if it's not coming from the general fund, we probably won't even do it next year.
Oh, you guys are kidding me.
Well, we put it on the budget for next year out of the general fund. I mean, that makes the most sense to me.
And we know how bad it is, and we are working on it, so.
Thank you.
I used to have a question. Unfortunately, I had to go away and miss a couple meetings. But
Name and address, please.
My name is Nancy Betty Foley. Sorry. I live on 2441 Wilshire Drive. I'm one that's been there for 40 plus years, okay? At that meeting I did get to attend before I got out of here. Gentleman sat there and said, back to the Timber Creek stuff, your road that comes in by you, where you live. But you had volunteers over there to pay for that project. You had volunteers that were willing to pay for that road. Why didn't you take their money? They announced it, they said you had people willing to pay for that road. We all heard it be announced.
No, you're misunderstanding what the comment was. That Beaver Trail was a project that Chris had applied for 3 years ago, and it's finally coming through under grant.
Right.
It's about a 50-50 split. The residents of Timber Creek are willing to circulate a petition to start what is called a SAD, that's a Special Assessment District.
All those words weren't said, but go ahead.
That's why they're willing to pay for the repairs of their roads. They will be assessed about $150 a half to have those roads paved. And they're willing to circulate petitions, and they're willing to present that petition to the trustees at some point, but right now it's in legal counsel, and there's a couple of snags.
Why would they do that when you guys are gonna fix their road without that?
I'm not gonna fix their roads.
It was already approved though.
It was already approved from what I
Well, that's
understand.
for Beaver Trail, that
That's
was a
correct,
grant.
that's the road I'm talking
Well,
about.
yeah, well,
We don't even know if that's gonna happen.
Well, the person that said there said that they had volunteers willing to pay for Beaver Trails.
One of the trustees.
Somebody sat right up there and said, it. I'm quite disappointed. I can't believe that our road is not going to be taken care of. And I'm hearing not even next year. And you guys are doing all this commercial stuff and getting all these commercial things coming into this town and into Bazetta. You're not going to have any of us to support your commercial buildings because we're going to leave. If we can't get our stuff taken care of and live here like we've lived for 40 plus years, who wants to? You come drive down my road every day. I feel sorry for the people that live past my house.
yes, I do too.
I feel very sorry for them. You got new development down at the end of our street. You're talking about new people coming in? You got new development at the end of our street. You can't even give them a decent road to go to. I'm sorry. I feel very let down here.
Well,
The last meeting I was at, I thought you guys were sincere in telling me that you're gonna figure out where to get the money to have our road done before the end of this year. And I cannot believe you're letting all of us down.
Well, when the clerk comes, or the fiscal officer says there's no money and we can't spend it, she has to certify the funds. Without her certifying, we can't do it.
I actually have, I'm
So,
kind of a layman on all of this, and I don't really know how it works, but I sat in here right now today, and all I saw and all I heard was, what is this, 6 people here saying this is what we're doing. That's how the whole process works? You 6 people run the whole show?
No. No. Who does? Because Mr. Hovis is not here,
So there's 7,
so there's, well, there's just actually 3 trustees.
but you folks run the whole show. None of us could make a motion, when you asked for a motion for that road,
Right.
none of us were allowed to say anything.
No.
Anybody else say anything other than you 7 people
Actually, it's the 3 trustees and the fiscal officer.
to make all these decisions? Okay, thank you.
Time to get to the-
And here's the new ones, it's ridiculous.
State your name.
Scott White, 2477 Wilshire Drive. Basically feel the same as she does. One question. How did we pick Beaver Trail? How did we come up with Beaver Trail when it's been on his radar for Wilshire and Fallon Drive for years?
So has Beaver.
We're going wide.
Not as
You have potholes. You have potholes. We got Paul at the end of the street, his business. We have you living back there with your Corvettes, so you can drive out, but that road's getting done. I don't understand it. Why is it always something to do with a trustee, one of the 3, getting voted for a little bit of money we have to run this township on?
Paul probably would have made the motion. We don't know if he made the motion. You two obviously chose not to.
Well, whether Paul would have made a motion is, like I said.
Yeah, you two still would have sat there quiet.
Well, we can't spend the money.
That's not what you said.
She has to certify the funds is there.
It's
Am I right?
just, when are you two up, it goes in 2 and 1,
2
right?
years.
Paul's up this year and you two are together, he's alone, correct?
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay. Thanks.
That's why I said take turns.
Come on up.
Ridiculous. Can't believe those.
And Troy Lakeshore Drive. I have a question, please, actually, two. January this year, I asked you if you had a plan to put Bazetta back on track for income versus expenses, short of putting a levy on. That was the exact, I wrote it down, okay? You said you were getting your spending under control. You just told me that you're what, $200,000 over? I don't get it. What's with the money?
We're about 115,000 over.
Okay, why are you 15,000 or whatever? Why are you even over since you've had since January to get your expenses in line?
Well, we had a tornado, and that's throwing a big clink into the budget.
Let me turn my hearing aids off. Go ahead.
January 8th, when the tornado hit, a lot of things changed. There's been a substantial expense in the cemetery to get it back in order. And right now, we have no idea what the total cost is going to be to
Is insurance paying for part of that?
pay for
What percentage?
And we don't know yet. The bid packets are going out on Monday, and when the bids come back on October 11th, we'll know how much more we have to pay. Insurance has already paid a certain amount, I think 110,000. So we're replacing equipment and.
Okay, you're doing apples to apples there. You're not increasing sizes or buildings or different equipment. Because normally an insurance company will pay at least a percentage if you're going to replace a particular item or building or whatever in a like-sized building. Isn't that how it works?
I believe so.
So you're doing everything like it was before,
No.
bigger, smaller.
It's the building, it's got to have a walk-in door and some other things. It was too small to get the truck into, couldn't even get the truck in there. So they're gonna make it a little bigger, and I can't tell you the size of it.
Who's paying for that? What department's gonna pay for that?
General fund.
Why isn't the cemetery paying for that?
Well, cemetery is funded out of the general.
Okay,
There is no, we tried to put a levy on the ballot to support the cemetery, and it went down to defeat. So now that responsibility is
yeah, because at one time you were almost in, I think it was called fiscal watch. Right?
We're gonna get there pretty soon.
Yeah, we're back to the same thing. And one final question about the roads. Okay, in 2012, you was promised money to be able to go out and start sequencing the roads to get them to, you got
60,000.
You got one payment. According to what Mr. Hovis said, you got one $60,000 payment. You could have done, how many roads, what's it cost to do a mile of road?
I can get a pretty good grant for $60,000.
Yeah, so how much road can you do for $60,000?
About half a mile.
About half a mile. Now, is that
Just straight up, that's just straight up paving.
okay?
Mill and fill is what I would call it. A little bit of PDR, partial depth repairs, mill it, fill it up to the same exact level as it was, so that we don't have to add like berms and such in a lot of approaches.
Had you been getting this money all along, our roads would not be in the condition they're in now. Is that correct?
Yes.
And why, you're the road department lazy on it right now, right? Why haven't you been doing this for the last 7 years?
For a simple reason, like Ted says, we don't have the money in the general fund.
But your deficit spending, you have to stop your spending, get it in line, so
That's
you
true.
can do what you gotta do without constantly coming to the voters for more money.
Absolutely.
So why aren't you doing that?
Well, we're trying to. Believe me,
It's not working.
As soon as we stop service in the park, we have people complaining because we're not mowing the grass, we're not
Well,
maintaining.
the park agreement was, I thought, if you got the park, if you maintained it. And then you took the money from that and you created a separate line item for the park, right? You have a separate line item for the park?
No, I don't know what Rita did before. I think she applied to have a park fund, but she didn't do anything with it. And actually the park and zoning run out of general fund.
And cemeteries.
Well, cemetery has its own fund.
But, yeah,
but it's still,
The park used to have its line items in '01.
Okay. Because the agreement was, didn't they give you the land if you maintained it, right? Isn't that the original agreement?
no,
What was the original agreement?
I can't tell you right now. If we didn't maintain it, then the land went back, but
Okay.
since then, I dealt with North Fenimore and that's been resolved.
Because I know.
If it fell within this repair,
They're hustling to make a buck to try to keep the thing open.
right,
And at one time, you could have kept it open, but you threatened to close it because you couldn't come up with $7,000. And they went out and hustled a whole bunch of money to keep it open. When you could have done part of your large general fund, you could have done just a little line item and let's go. Your park is open, you keep everybody happy, you keep all your constituents thinking that you're doing right, and you guys let that drop too.
it costs us just to maintain the park, not any improvements.
Okay.
About $17,000 a year,
Okay.
and that comes out of the general fund. Now, what the Board of Trustees have done, the excess money that has been raised, the park board will identify the needs for improvements, and that money that was raised in the fundraisers will be used for improvements.
Where's the money at right now?
It's in a special line item identified as.
yes.
Fix the roads, Chris. Well, supposed to be giving you money all these years.
Here's another snafu with Wilshire. You got Wilshire, you got.
I don't care about Wilshire.
Well-
It's not meant to be disrespectful.
Yeah, well,
I live there, but I'm sure they got a squawk and squeal.
You don't
And
get
I'm sure
grants.
all these other roads got squawk and squeal because I live on Lake Shore and that was just done, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? And
about 10 or
it's never
better.
been touched since, other than they did fill a couple of holes or something and patch something. But I told them, it's cracking, and if it cracks, all that's gonna happen is water's gonna go in. If you don't seal the crack, it's gonna get bigger.
That's a fact.
And you're not, you can't seal, you don't have any money.
Then you look like.
Give the guy the money so he can.
Yeah. Well, one thing about what you're saying about Wilshire, we can't get grants on Wilshire or Fallon or any of the no access roads. It's singly in and out.
Well, then why are you even contemplating that?
It's harder. You get over it. You have to throw money at the project.
You, 50-50 probably wouldn't even get it. I would imagine you probably have to go at least 75-25.
Did you say earlier in meetings that there was a discussion about if you waited to the beginning of next year, there's a possibility of getting grants? Wasn't that brought up at one of the meeting prior? You're shaking your head, yes. What was it?
Well, like I said earlier,
And I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
when the trustees told me, well, when whoever it was told me that we were gonna do Wilshire Drive, and it was a rush job, I asked a favor from some of the county guys that I know, and they rushed the engineering for us. Since then, the gas tax kicked in, and I believe that's why the project came in a little over. But I've already done my project for 2020 because that project was gonna come from the, Wilshire Drive was gonna come from the general, so I felt pretty good about going for Fallon Drive. And now that hindsight, I should have just went for Wilshire Drive and believed it when I seen it, you know what I mean? That's what I should have done.
What he's trying to tell you is, local participation into like if we would have paid for Wilshire Drive, that ups his ante, so he can get another grant. It gives you more points. Townships have to spend so much on their own to get grants.
Do you have money to spend on your own?
Well, we would have liked to have done Wilshire, and that would have been on our own.
And by waiting until next year, will you have more money?
We gotta wait.
Gas
until we-
tax money is gonna kick in.
Well,
Well, we should be seeing some new gas tax money. I think that's why our engineer's estimate was a little low, because it was prior to
the new
the
tax.
new tax kicking in asphalt. You can ask probably Steve, asphalt is all about gas prices and oil prices. That's what asphalt is, you know what I mean? And once that kicked in, you know, our engineer's estimate was a little lower. Our bids came in higher than what our estimate was. So technically it was all over bid.
Who does the estimate? Who actually makes the estimate?
Trumbull County Engineer's Office, that's what they do for all townships.
You have no say-so in that at all?
Not really, I'm
Yeah.
not an engineer though, so the only thing I can do is cut down on, if they base it on a 2-inch base, you know, 1.25 inch top, I can say, well, you know, do we really need 2 inches? You know, but it's not gonna last that long. You know, the thinner the road, the less time it's gonna last. And the engineer gives a statement, and when he gives that statement out, as far as how long that road should last, he's not gonna fudge that, not for anybody. Like, if I get a grant, like down on Burnett Drive, I got that in 2005. I cannot apply for that grant until Mr. DeChristopher Farrow's engineer's statement on that road has expired, which is 16 years. I cannot ask for another grant on that road until 2021.
You have a chart then from all the roads that have deficiencies?
I do, yes. Yeah, PCRs, FCRs, financial condition ratings, physical condition ratings.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm grateful that 2441 Wilshire Drive. At the earlier meeting, I asked you people and showed you some pictures of the water problems we have behind us, not on the street. That's a big problem. We got a bigger problem behind our house. I have water that deep, 10 feet from my garage. Because somebody back there gave them permission to pile up all this stuff along there, and he turns that water around there. You made a comment, you said you would get somebody out there to take a look at it. Has anyone looked at it? Yes, or would you look at it and say, we'll have to take care of that.
I mean, soil, water,
Soil and water would be the ones we'd have.
This will be the drainage one.
This is on private property, so there's nothing that's
You think
township.
you have it well.
We can get a hold of soil and water.
That's what was said at the last.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said, well, get somebody out there to look at that and take care of the problem. Those were your exact words.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go home tonight and watch the video.
Okay,
And see if I can find it.
okay.
And then I'll apologize to you.
But I think it would hurt us to get water or something on this one water.
I mean, is
The
that,
other question I have is the condition of Wilshire, obviously, right now would be in terrible shape. Will you correct that?
It is critical.
Now, you've passed the point of fixing it. Right now, you're at a point now of replacing it, correct?
That is pretty much.
And how about the drainage, the sewer?
There was 6 catch basins to be put on that, along with some piping, and there was also that ditch going back to the gas well, which is one of 3 or 4 runs in that section of road that goes to the back.
Obviously, that's the point, we leave and get that far,
Right.
we're not fixing it, we're replacing it. That's expensive. I grant you that.
Right, and it's pretty flat back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're gonna do what we can do, and as soon as we get this cemetery thing knocked out of the way, and technically, it was a bad time of year to put something to bid too. And I'm just telling you from where I stand, I'm not sticking up for nobody. Technically, it's a bad time of year to go bid. What we should do, if there is money next year, and these folks say that it's okay to go ahead with this project, I'll have Trumbull County engineers take a second look at it, update the engineering on it, if need be. And then in the middle of winter, when these pavers are starving for money and jobs, that's when we'll go to bid again. Probably, when do you guys usually shoot stuff to bid in the spring, Steve?
We get things ready by February, then Randy sends it in the following month or so.
So around February, March, that area, we could, if money's available, we could technically go to bid with them, and that'll actually save us a little money when we advertise with their monies. Sorry, Steve. But,
No problem.
and, that way, when they bid it, there's probably 20 projects and a lot of other townships that go along with Trumbull County and try to pave their streets, because we do get better pricing. So, I'm asking you, please hang with us. If the money's there, she's gonna allow it. And hopefully we can get a little better price on it. And yes, you'll be stuck on that road.
I get a lot of prayers coming from Wilshire Drive on that one.
If I could get your name and address and phone number again?
Yeah.
When I contact Soil and Water, I'll pass on your name and phone number so that they can make arrangements.
Well, now we want to give it to you
After
after
the
the
meeting, that's
Okay,
fine.
no problem.
I just have a quick comment to make. You said you're spending $17,000 on the park over here. Just want to share with you that we built that park to start with. The Optimist Club and all of us hard workers from back in the day, we built those ball diamonds. We created those diamonds. We mowed that grass. It didn't cost $17,000 a year to maintain it because we did it free. If that's the case, you guys owe me some money. 'Cause I got a lot of shoveling and a lot of digging, a lot of raking that I did in those fields over there for many, many years. While the Optimist Club owned it. You guys forget that. We're the people that built this place, and we're the people you're shutting down.
Thank you.
Jane Lewis, 3247 Pheasant Run Road. Quick. Chris, I've got the thing here, and trustee. If we're gonna get $50,000 approximately, just this year from the tax, or from the, gas tax.
I'm already ahead of you.
I mean,
That
we're
money-
looking at $87,000.
I've actually already allotted that money to my project for issue 1 in 2020. That's how I was able to fund it.
Do you know how many, I have to drive on Ivy Hill Lane.
I know.
Believe me, I told you, Beaver Trail looks like a highway compared to what I drive on to get back to my private road. It's a washboard.
My
You were on
mother-in-law
there
lives
today,
back
Chris.
there,
I
and
seen you.
My daughter just bought a condo back there, so I'm being here for her.
Yeah, it's a terrible mess, and Wilshire's terrible. And I've been coming to a lot of these meetings, and I heard Wilshire many years ago to resurface it. So I think we're getting screwed over there. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what I feel. I don't, if they get, so you already spent the $50,000, you're not even gonna save it for Wilshire.
I haven't even got it yet, and that I upped. The points were gonna be low for the project. I thought Wilshire was a done deal. I thought it was. That's kind of on me, so I went for the other bad road that we have. It's a terrible road also, but it's not as bad as Wilshire Drive. It's not as bad, but it is pretty, it's close, but not bad. Not as bad.
Well, yeah, I'm real unhappy too. I've been paying a lot of taxes for a long time.
Can't you file an amendment?
It's already been, it's already been.
We're under the bus, we're buried.
I got one small question on a statement he made earlier. Not on Wilshire. Scott White again, 2477 Wilshire. You said we can't apply for another grant for Burnett Drive until 2021, correct?
Correct.
And can you please state why again?
When you get a grant money from the state, anytime there's an engineered road for grant money, it comes with the engineer's statement of life,
How long
life
will it last?
expectancy.
Okay.
Right, how long it should last. That was in 2005.
Can we not go back on them and say, hey, listen, this thing's not even anywhere close to how long you're telling us to last?
This is Burnett Drive.
Right, I understand that.
Burnett's not.
Hey, I'll take what we can get. You can't even drive out of it.
I got you.
But you know what I'm saying? They're telling us we can't apply for another grant until 2020.
No, just on Burnett Drive.
Right, I understand that.
You can go for another.
But that's been bad for 5 or 6 years. You know, it's been long gone that that road's bad. If they're saying we're supposed to last till 2021 and their work's not holding up to that,
Actually, next year's 2020, this
Yeah.
year's shot.
but it's only been bad for a long time. We're
Not Burnett. Ivy Lane is.
So Burnett is bad. They're all bad.
Burnett's not as bad as your road.
It's worse than Beaver Trail.
Burnett Drive,
It is.
are you talking that, okay, that's
Not
not
to come out.
not the 4 lanes.
The two coming out of Ivy Hill, Burnett Drive.
That's not as bad.
I have to drive over in the right lane. You can't drive in the left lane. It's so bad.
You're talking about.
I can imagine how it's sitting in the
We're
back
talking
of
about Ivy Lane, Scott.
Yeah.
That's the one that goes from Wilshire Drive back to north and south. Yes, you have to drive in the left.
the Burnett coming in too.
No, Burnett is the 4 lanes.
Yeah.
Ivy Lane is that street down that goes from Wilshire Drive over to
The
north.
2 lanes coming in, 2 lanes coming out is Burnett Drive, correct?
Yes.
That, it's been bad for a long time.
It's got bad spots. I
I
have.
can't even drive down it, but what I'm saying, they should be held accountable if it's I'm not gonna last that long.
Well, we're gonna check our monies.
We don't have no money.
Well, hold on. When Mr. Hovis gets back, we're gonna sit down, once we get the cemetery leveled out, see where we're at. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna try and put that back on for next spring.
It's not.
We can put it back on, but we'll all sit here in silence like we're praying.
Well, maybe not, maybe we'll have the money to do it with, because I think Chris.
That's fine.
come up with some.
I don't wanna beat you up over it too much.
No, I understand that.
I'm sorry, I just gotta make one more quick comment. This is, just get it off my chest.
Sure.
I go to Florida for the winter time, okay? And it's a blessing to come back home, because they have sinkholes in Florida. You keep letting our road go, and we're gonna have a sinkhole right there in the middle of our road, because we're built on swamp. It's gonna happen.
No, that wasn't.
We're built on swamp land, we really are. That's it, I'm done. I'm done. My good friend, I'm just last night.
I got you.
Motion. Yeah, 18619. Motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:48.
I'll make a motion.
Yes.
Yes.
I want your address and phone number.
Yeah.
My text message. Oh,